This is your Monday supporter file. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can do this card. So if you don't want to do the lights, you don't have to do the lights. But I got these from Pear Blossom Press, and I'll leave you a link down below to that blog and shop so that you can get some of these. They have different types of lights. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet, but I may. I'm going to make something. I just don't know what yet. And then you have the ones that have single lights or 3 lights on them. And then you have the 1 light, and these are super easy. They come with the batteries, so super easy. And you just press the battery into it, and when they press it, it's going to light up. Okay, and we're going to use that in this card. However, if you don't want to purchase those and you don't want to use them, you can use a piece of yellow paper here instead of vellum. I'm using vellum on mine just to diffuse the light a little bit because they are super bright, and that's going to help diffuse it. So if you want to order those, again, link down below. But you can do this without them. Now, if you're going to be using it, you're going to need some of the thicker foam tape. It comes in 2 thicknesses, and I'm afraid that this might be a little thin, but if you get the thicker one, or if you have the thin, you could just double it up. Okay, so make sure that you have that. I am going to start this card, and it says on the front, the part that's going to be pressed is shine, and I'll hand deliver this so they'll know to press the button. But if you want to put something on there, a small sticker or a piece of paper that says press, you can do that. Totally up to you. And on the inside, it says be the light, Matthew 15:14 through 16. Love that sentiment, love that verse, but if you want to take that out and change it to something of your own, you can do that as well. So you're just going to fold that base in half, and I have misplaced my favorite bone folder again. It's here somewhere. I'm just going to press that down, and then I am going to get my blue Cricut cardstock, put it on top of the white. Make sure your card is going the right way with your sentiment before you start gluing stuff down and get it upside down. Yeah, I've done that. That's why I have to check myself. And we're just going to center that up. And this is a small border on this piece. I wanted it to kind of pop out. Oops. Got some glue on my hand, but that's going to be covered, so it won't matter. So I'm going to place that there. Now, I did deboss on the Cricut foil poster board. I think this is actually the light purple in there, but it goes great with the blue. So I am using that, and I debossed. Now it's going to show pin in the file that you get. It's going to be on the pin, but you want to change it to deboss. And that's just so all Cricut users can open up the file. You may be on Android, you may be on mobile or something like that. So all the foiling and all of the debossing will be set to pin, and you'll need to change that. These are the flowers that I did, and I am amazed. I used the Cricut fine tip foiling, and they worked perfectly. First try, no problems. Love it. Okay, this is flattened, and I did foil around the outside edges. I wanted it to look gold, and I tried to get my image that it was flattened to as close to the gold as I could, so it looks really, really good. I don't know if it's going to pick this up on camera, but guys, it is gorgeous. It turned out so pretty. Now, that being said, Android users probably are not going to be able to open this file unless you're on a computer, because this is flattened for print and cut, and it's so intricate that I'm not going to unflatten that. So you will need to open it up on a computer for that reason only. All of these are going to be set to ink pen for those of you on mobile, because of foiling. I don't want you to not be able to open it because of that. And you just open it on a computer and save it. And then if you're cutting this, you'll change all of those to foil. Now I will put this also on pen, and you'll need to change that to foil as well. And I don't use glue on vellum because it shows, except the art glitter glue, it doesn't show as bad, but we try to use it very sparingly. Glue dots, things like that, they all show through the vellum. On this one, you don't have to worry about it. Just pop it on there any way you want with any adhesive you want. Just stay out of the hole there. And now we have that piece ready. I'm just going to bring this in, and I am going to bring in and put in some of the foam tape on these, because this panel is going to be popped up, and I'm trying to bring it in from the edge so it's not as noticeable from the side of the card. Probably don't need this much, but I'm here, why not? So got that on there. Now I'm going to bring in, and you'll want to place this in where your light is going to shine through there. Okay, and your pear blossom is up. Make sure that it's working. That way you know where your button is at, and you can twist it and bring it in. It depends on where you want your sentiment. So that's why I'm waiting for a second. We're going to bring this in, and I am going to pop my sentiment down. Now I am going to be using some of the Scotch Clear adhesive dots, just because that's what I had out here, not for any other reason. You can use whatever adhesive that you want, but this is thin, and the little liners are really staticky. But on the foil, I don't want to use glue on top of this foil because it will bubble up and show through. So I'm avoiding that by just using those. I'm going to line this up, press that down on its liner, and then I'm going to finish decorating the front before I go to the inside. That way I know where I want everything. And I had the buildings debossed on here as well. If you're using pen, you can do this on anything, but if you're using the foil, the deboss gives it just a little without it being in the way, if you know what I mean there. And I think that I want this flat down because I'm going to pop up my flowers in the basket. So again, I'm going to use these very thin adhesive dots, and probably a little bit of tape runner on the very edges, just so they don't pull up. Make sure I don't have any adhesive hanging over. I may add a little bit of glue and get that stuck down really good. You just don't want it lifting up anywhere. Sticking to me, all of those little release liners. They are staticky. Put one on the basket here. One on that lamp. And then I think I'm just going to see it stuck to me again. Get off of me. There we go. And I think I'm just going to run through here and do some tape on that and pull it up. Make sure that I don't have any glue hairs anywhere from doing that. They're okay on my paper there. That glue out of those little tracks. Just going around all of the little openings, making sure I don't have any adhesive flopping everywhere. Okay, and I'm going to start by placing down the lamp itself right there, and then working my way down, keeping it even. There we go. So now we have our lamp post on there, looking good. And this is where, get on there. I'm going to go ahead and do these. I'm going to use, I don't know if they're close to my heart, thin foam dots on here. And first I'm going to decide how I want those. I'm going to go and look how I laid it out in Designspace, so I get them glue dotted down the way that I actually wanted them. Now I have flattened the lamp post to a big square, and that's so that you can get your foiling taped down without it interfering with your print and cut lines. If you can get it done without that, then you don't have to do it that way. You can detach it from the square. I think I have this one going this way, and this one is underneath going this way. That looks about right. I want some of the basket to show. So there we go. I'm going to grab my dot. I could probably use a large one here, but that's okay. Peel off the release liners. I'm going to stick my tool on there to help me kind of line this up without it pressing down. That looks pretty good. I go with it. Go for it. I'm just going to get a couple more for this one. And I don't want, I'm overlapping, but there we go. I want my glue dots on the parts that aren't overlapping, so you don't need as many on this one. Kind of tucking it. Overlapping. There we go. So now, oops, that's not where I wanted that. Hopefully I can get it off of there. I want more of my basket to show. There we go. So now we've got that basket showing in there. And now the flowers. And probably just need one on there. Pop one there. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of tuck that under. How stinking cute is that? Love it. All right, so now I want to place shine right there, but I want to make sure that my button is going to be able to be pressed under it and it's going to light up. Let's see. Might have to turn it. I'm trying to determine the best position. Ooh, that's awfully bright. I don't want it to blind anyone. when it comes through there. So I'm just going to back it off a little bit so that it's bright, but not blinding them. So that is where, and you just barely have to touch it. So that's going to be perfect. So now I'm going to hold it in place because that's where I want to glue it. Okay. And I am just going to create just a little dam-like area just to hold it down in place when I go to put it on the card so that it doesn't wiggle around. And now I know exactly where I want it to be. And I'm going to go back to those dots. I'm going to place one on right there where the battery pack is. Just to tack it in place. Just to tack it into place before I get everything going. So now I'm going to peel those inner liners. And I peeled just the top one, and I'm going to peel these off to the side. That way I can align, get everything ready, and then pull those out. I took these out, but not these, because we're not going to press it down till we're ready. Make sure our card's going the right direction. And now I'm going to bring this in and line it up. And start sticking it down. And I got my release liners folded back in there. So I'm going to have to fetch them out. There we go. They wanted to stay in there, didn't they? There we go. All right. So now I'm going to give that a good press down around that little dam. And we're going to pull out these other liners, stick everything down. And I am going to pop this up. We use a couple of the larger dots. Oops, I got it pressed too tight. It's staying on. We don't want that. The tape may need to be a little bit thicker. Your light is staying on. Your tape is not thick enough. So glad I can get back in here. There we go. Maybe I just had it pressed down too hard. That's what I did. There we go. I pressed it down too hard. All right. And done. Come here. That one doesn't want to release. And I'm going to place shine right over the top. Love it. How stinking cute is that? Again, if you don't want to do the lights, you don't have to do the lights. I would just cut a piece of gold paper or yellow paper to put behind there in place of the vellum. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I will catch you on the next one. Happy crafting.